Breast cancer is so prevalent. Some of the studies that I saw and in the summation of those studies was mainly targeting total body fat. So it seemed to be the further away you come from your ideal body weight and the more fat that you have, it seems to increase your risk of breast cancer. This study is primarily done in postmenopausal women because you have more incidence of breast cancer in postmenopausal women. In men, the same thing, total body fat. Now, in men, it's not as prevalent, breast cancer, but it does occur. You have almost 1% of men get breast cancer. There seems to be that association between total body fat, meaning the further you get away from your ideal body weight and the more fat you're carrying, could increase your risk of breast cancer in men and increase your risk of breast cancer in postmenopausal women. Now, premenopausal women, younger women, don't have as much an occurrence of breast cancer. It's not to say they don't get it at all, but it's not as prevalent as it is in postmenopausal women. And what generates cancer in premenopausal women, it's a different ballgame. It's a little bit more complicated. So we want to decrease our total body fat because a plant-based diet could help prevent cancer, and even if you were diagnosed, increase your chances of survival, which are the things that we would want. We want to prevent it, but if we were to get it, definitely, how can I increase my chances of survival? So again, if you have more body fat, then you're going to have more fat tissues. And with the fat tissues, you can have an enzyme, aromatase, that will convert androgens, which are male sex hormones, into estrogens, which are female sex hormones. And it's the estrogen that seems to be linked or fuel cancer cell growth. And the last thing we want is something that's going to fan cancer cell growth. How can I get closer to my ideal body weight, and how can I reduce my fat, my body fat? If indeed you're having a problem with losing weight, I definitely want you to look at our Boss Battle Academy, because we present a comprehensive approach, because you need a comprehensive approach when it comes to those who are struggling to lose weight, those who are going on diets, off, on, off. You're on a diet roller coaster, and we don't want you to live your life that way. We want you to get off that roller coaster, and there are some things that we want to share with you and help you and mentor you so that you can lose weight. I'm going to decrease my total body fat. The most effective way that you can do that is to decrease the fat in your diet. And I say that because 1 gram of fat is 9 calories versus 1 gram of a carbohydrate and 1 gram of a protein. So by decreasing your fat, you get twice as much. You get more bang for your buck. So definitely I'm focusing on the fat. And not only fat, when it comes to breast cancer, we are even targeting, looking even more closely at the amount of saturated fat that you take in. So let's talk about saturated fat. Now, saturated fat primarily comes from animal and animal products. And so that's your ice cream, that's cottage cheese, that's mayonnaise, that's butter, that's margarine. Particularly stick margarine is saturated fat. You say, well, I don't really do stick margarine. Well, if you're eating baked goods, if you go into the grocery store and you're picking up baked goods, cakes, all of these things, you probably are taking in a saturated fat. And the reason being are twofold. One I'll talk about a little bit later, but stick margarine is saturated, and we want it to be. It's to take the place of a lard, but because of its plasticity. And plasticity means that it gives these good properties that we want. It helps to mold the product better. It gives moistness to the baked good. It makes the baked good tender. It traps that moisture in there, and because it's a saturated fat, it has the ability to do that, whereas a vegetable oil would come short of that. And that's why we like that stick margarine or that solid margarine. So you may not buy it in the store as is, but you may be getting it in a number of the products that you're picking up in the grocery store. That stick margarine as a saturated fat, also vegetable shortening that a lot of us use in our baking, that's a saturated fat. Other sources would be like the mayonnaise type salad dressing. Not to say the oil salad dressing it doesn't contribute to your fat intake, because it does, but particularly the mayonnaise type salad dressing. And the average person is probably taking in 2 tablespoons of a salad dressing, and 2 tablespoons of a salad dressing, that's 270 calories. Well, I know from experience and observation that some people even go beyond that. You can't even see the salad for the salad dressing, so they're probably taking in a whopping 1/4 of a cup of salad dressing, which brings it all the way up to 540 calories. That's a lot of calories just in the topping. So let's look at our toppings. Are you doing a lot of gravies, cheese sauce, whipped topping, cream cheese, and a sour cream? You know, you're going to have that baked potato. Forget it if it doesn't have butter, margarine, and sour cream. So those are toppings that we like to use. Sometimes we don't want to do anything unless it's smothered in gravy. Meats, all your meats would have your saturated fat in it. So definitely, if you're going to take inventory of, am I taking in a lot of saturated fat? Be looking at some of those things that I've just mentioned. So say, milk. We are big on dairy, eggs. Unless you're doing skim milk where all of the fat was skimmed off, then you're taking in a saturated fat. Even if it's 1% or 2%, it's less. Whole milk is more. So if you're going from whole milk to 2% to 1%, you are reducing it when you get down to 1%. But unless it's skim or no non-fat, you have some fat in that milk. Another thing that I was alluding to earlier, and I want to talk about right now, when it comes to saturated fat mainly comes from animal and animal products. These are 2 products, ingredients, that are not animal or animal products, but they do give you saturated fat. And one of those I definitely want you to know is palm oil or palm kernel oil. Be looking for that ingredient. It is saturated. It comes from a plant product. It's not an animal product, but it is very saturated. And if it were just in a few products here and there, I wouldn't mention it. But it is so prevalent. When you go to the grocery store, almost 1/3 of the grocery store now are snacks. We love to snack. The Western culture, that's what we do. We love to snack. And palm oil is in a lot of those products. Now, a number of food manufacturers have made some differences, and they've changed the type of oils that they use, but you got to read the label. And you would see it in your crackers, you would see it in your chips, you would see it in so many, your microwavable popcorn. And we're saying, oh, that's a good snack, it's popcorn. It's got the palm oil in it. Almost every brand you pick up has that palm oil in it. So it's very prevalent. It's in your baked goods. You go to the bakery. And the reason why they like palm oil is because food manufacturers choose this particular ingredient because it's cheap. Say no more. They're trying to reduce their costs like any other business. It's very moldable. It's good for plasticity, as I've already talked about. It has an extended shelf life than some other vegetable oils. Now, I'm going to read off a list of some. It's just a snapshot, but of some snack products that we like that the manufacturers do not use palm oil. That's Lay's chips, kettle chips, Cape Cod chips, Theo chocolate products, Larabar bars, rolled gold pretzels. Say that real fast. Rolled gold pretzels. Tortilla chips usually, all the different tortilla chips are usually made with corn oil. And Triscuits. Those are just a few. Like I said, that's just a snapshot. But, so there are a number of products where food manufacturers are using a different type of oil. Now, the other product, other than palm oil, is coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, and you might, a lot of people get confused. It is conflicting. You're hearing all these wonderful things about coconut oil, particularly externally coconut oil is a winner. In your hair, coconut oil is a winner. But internally, it is a saturated fat. And so if you are following that typical westernized diet where you're taking in a lot of fat and a lot of that fat is coming from animal and animal products, then adding coconut oil is not a benefit for you. Now, if you're one of these people who have been very health conscious and you've reduced your fat intake to a minimal, then using a little bit of coconut oil shouldn't be problematic for you. There may be some conflict there because you're hearing all of these wonderful properties about coconut oil. Well, coconut oil has a substance in it which is medium chain triglycerides. And the medium chain triglycerides are associated with some possible benefits such as, better gut health or inflammation or more or better cognitive function. And there are a number of other benefits that are listed. But it is still a saturated fat. Moving forward, our key here is how can we reduce our total body fat? Once again, if you are having issues or you need some more help to help you with losing weight, definitely join us in Boss Battle Academy. Well, I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm Daz, I'm out, but I look forward to seeing you next show.